Okay, so before we start, I have to remind you of something.
Okay.
No, I'm talking to the camera, Jakey. So before we start, I have something to remind you of. This is not cute fairy girl studio. This isn't demure girl studio. This is goblin girl studio. So just, you've been warned. You're not allowed to be grossed out by anything I'm about to show you, okay? So last year, back at Halloween time, I got a little gourd at Trader Joe's to celebrate the reason for the season, and I enjoyed it on my coffee table for about 2 months. Then somehow it ended up on my windowsill around Christmas time because it still looked fine, I guess, and I just didn't see a reason to throw it out. And then I forgot about it. For 10 months. And, well, it's October again. Look at this gourd now. Blech. Don't worry, we are going to talk about safety. I was about to throw it away, but then I thought,
I gotta figure out how to make
crafts.
this thing. It's simply too good.
And that's when I remembered that dried gourds are the classical art form of middle-aged moms from the 90s. This is well-trod crafting ground. So naturally, let's turn this nasty old gourd into a little coin purse for my Renaissance Fair costume. So let me show you a quick sketch of what I'm thinking. I'm not worried about historical accuracy. This is a fairy costume I wear to the Ren Faire, so history isn't really relevant. I want to do a gourd with the top cut off and strung together so that the top can slide up when you want to open up the purse, and then have those strings tied together at the top in a loop so that it can go onto a belt. Also, I'm thinking it might be kind of cute to macrame the strings together around the bottom of the gourd just to give it a little bit more visual interest. So that's pretty much the plan. I don't want to inhale whatever evil is inside this gourd, so let's take a trip to the craft shed. Hi! Welcome to the craft shed. It's a little weird trying to, like, be exuberant and YouTube-y here in this space, because I think like 6 people live in the house that this is attached to. So it feels very public and exposed. So WikiHow is telling me that the first step for working with dried gourds is to soak them in water and bleach for like 30 minutes. Okay, so I have a gallon of water here and I'm gonna eyeball about a tablespoon of bleach. That's like a tablespoon, right? I'm sorry about these grinding sounds. There's like literally construction happening at my apartment building, and then there's construction apparently happening next door to the craft shed, so there's nowhere I can go that does not have grinding sounds. Constant grinding. I did not pick a good time to become a YouTuber. Then, in goes the gourd. This is supposed to kill all the mold and bacteria and stuff, I think, and then also soften up the outer skin, which I think I'm supposed to, like, scrape off. So I'm learning just now that apparently gourds float, so I'm thinking I'm gonna try to use a towel and some rocks to sink it to the bottom of the bucket like it knows my secrets and I don't want it to talk. Then I spend the next 30 minutes trying to convince myself that just because this one time that I forgot about a plant and let it get moldy in my apartment for 10 months worked out, doesn't mean that I should let it happen again. It didn't work. The safety talk is coming. Now that my gourd has gone from moldy and dry to moldy and wet, I can get to work scraping off the outer layer of skin. This was actually kind of harder than I thought it was going to be. Something led me to believe I was just going to be able to peel this off, and that wasn't the case. Alright, now the outside of the gourd is clean and I can touch it without fearing for my life. So now I just gotta let it dry for a day or so before we can open it up and see what's going on inside. It's been a day or so. I realize that this is like basically my Halloween episode, so I put on like a little bat outfit. Hey, wanna have a safety meeting? No, real actual safety, not the other kind of safety meeting. The big thing, don't let a gourd mold over in your house. It's not a good place to be growing mold. This is obvious. It's something I did on accident, but I probably could have prevented. I just don't want anyone to think that it's okay to just dry their gourd in their house because I did it. Also, don't touch a moldy gourd with your bare hands. Alright, let's get back to work. I start out by doing a final pass at sanding the gourd, and then I sketch out a line for where I want the top to be cut off. I feel like I tried like 5 different scientific ways to get this line straight and even, but the gourd isn't straight and even, so eyeballing it ended up kind of being the best solution. Now, time to cut her open. I'm kind of nervous about this step because if either the top or the bottom of this crack, then the craft is kind of ruined, and I'd have to wait till Halloween next year to try this again. But I got through okay, so let's open this up and see what's inside. Well, don't know what I can do about that, but I can get out all the loose guts and seeds from the center of the gourd. I think you can actually plant these seeds, but I don't have a garden, so bye! Then I let the open gourd soak in some bleachy water again to soften it up, and after that, most of the pulp came out in satisfying little sheets. A pass with my metal scrubber got all the last little bits out of there. Alright, the gourd is clean inside and out, so while that dries, I'm just gonna go throw my clothes in the wash and wash my hair. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in October this year, and I'm wearing this huge warm onesie, so that's gonna feel really good. Okay, back from my shower, and these gourds seem to be pretty dry. I'm gonna be real, it kind of still looks like a moldy old gourd, but I still think it's gonna be cool. I gotta go to the Cheesecake Factory in half an hour, so let's see what I can do before then. The next step is to drill some holes so I can string all this together. I put the top back on the gourd and use a pencil to mark the spots that I want the cord to come through. I'm going with 2 holes side by side on 3 points of the gourd's rim, because I think it will end up having the best balance of stability while still leaving room to actually reach inside and grab things out. I'm using this tiny little drill bit on my Dremel. Isn't it so cute? How can a drill bit be cute? Alright, let's let this cute little drill bit do its work. Alright, gotta go to Cheesecake Factory. It's day 3. Cheesecake Factory was good. I had cookie dough cheesecake. I'm back. I'm ready to finish up this little gourd purse. Today, it's all about stringing this bag together, and for that I want to use this brown hemp cord to keep with the natural feel. But where is the end of the thread on this spool? I feel like this must be like an episode of Blue's Clues where you're all yelling at the screen telling me where it is, and I'm just totally clueless, like, is it here? So, whatever, I'm just gonna cut it. I never know how much string I'll need, so I kind of just pull it out like it's toilet paper and I just took a gnarly dump. Okay, I've done the goblin math, and since I want a loop at the top to hang from a belt and there's 6 holes, that means I want 3 strings folded in half. I tie a knot to finish off the loop, then string the ends through the holes at the lid of the gourd. But after I strung the cord through the base of the gourd, my brain started to break a bit because I couldn't figure out how to tie even knots on the outside of the gourd while it kept sliding around on the strings. I tried using binder clips to keep the cords in place and then doing the macrame detail, but then after I took the binder clips off, the base just rode up and it wouldn't sit in the macrame cradle. So I tried again the exact same way as if that would help, and it didn't. So finally I realized I needed to make even knots in the string before I put the base on and then knot it tightly again on the other side. Then I could do the macrame, and that finally worked. With that last knot tied, it's all done, so I'm gonna go get into my Renaissance Fair fairy costume and then I will meet you for the reveal. I love it. It's such a perfect little pouch for like a fairy or a goblin costume. I think I'm gonna use this to hold like trinkets and gems to give out as little gifts at the Ren Faire next year. But honestly, I think this could be a really cute everyday accessory if you're like a little freak like me. You could hold like your chapstick in here. That would be kind of cute. Also, this cost me like $5 to make, and we love a frugal craft. It does still look a little bit like a moldy old gourd, but I think for like a rustic fairy costume like this, it kind of works. So 'tis the season, go out and buy a gourd, remember to throw it out by Christmas. Till then, I'll be here making all kinds of fun costumes, crafts, miniatures, dioramas, fun stuff like that. And I do have a fairy wing tutorial coming out soon, so please consider subscribing so you don't miss it. Let me know what you thought of this little gourd pouch in the comments. Oh, and let me know what you thought about this more vlog style video. I had a lot of fun making it, so I'm curious if you guys all enjoyed watching it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time at Goblin Girl Studio.
Bye bye, little fairy. Oh, bye. Slipping fairy, falling fairy. Get up, little fairy.
At least it's on camera.